Super moves. They're big, they're flashy, and everyone who's anyone in My Hero Academia has one. Today we'll be looking at some of the coolest super moves our favorite heroes and villains have to offer. We're gonna start off this list with perhaps the most epic and climatic super move in the anime thus far. All Might has always been the symbol of peace and justice in the world of My Hero. Everyone looked up to him and he inspired millions with his heroic actions and presence. Heck, it even inspired Deku to become a hero at all. All Might has a variety of state-based attacks, such as Detroit Smash, Texas Smash, and Delaware Smash. All of these smash attacks seem to be a variation of one big punch, but the biggest punch All Might could muster was against All For One in his final showdown. With his back against the wall and his quirk about to be depleted entirely, All Might had one more ace up his sleeve against this seemingly invincible All For One. To show not only his power but also his resolve to be the symbol of peace, All Might worked through the pain to deliver a devastating final blow to All For One, an attack that would be the last punch he would ever make as All Might, the United States of Smash. An attack more powerful than any one-state attack and the one that finally defeated All For One. Let's look at that same fight between All Might and All For One and flip the script a bit. Heroes are not the only ones who have super moves, right? All For One is the big bad. He's the main bad guy of the entire series, basically. All For One's quirk is the opposite of All Might's One For All quirk. Where One For All is meant to be passed down and gets stronger with each new generation, All For One takes quirks and consolidates them for himself. In the beginning, before heroes were a widespread phenomenon, two brothers had these two quirks. All For One from the start wanted to use his quirk for evil and to make himself more powerful, while his younger brother was frail and weak, and wanted to spread the quirk that his older brother gave to him down to other heroes in order to oppose that brother. Currently, Deku is the current holder of One For All, and All For One continues to steal and consolidate power. Moreover, he could use these stolen quirks in combination with one another. In his fight with All Might, he combined his strongest quirks into one ultimate super move. Ultimate Combination. In the end, while All For One lost, the victory was not one-sided. We could have a list of excellent super moves without talking about the main character of My Hero, right? Fans know the story by now. Deku was born without a quirk and was given one by All Might. He was chosen to be the successor of One For All. Since inheriting One For All, the biggest hurdle Deku has had to overcome is just using the power. While All Might tries to guide him, every time Deku used One For All, it would destroy his body. Throughout the series, he has broken multiple bones and permanently scarred his body. It was a necessary sacrifice in order to protect others. For the longest time, Deku could only use a fraction of his power with a move he called Full Cowling. Even at just 5%, he was able to decimate his opponents. That was until he faced Overhaul. Deku needed more power, but he couldn't go all out without seriously hurting himself. That's where Eri came in. With her quirk, she could rewind the damage Deku did to his body. It was at that moment Deku could use Full Cowling 100%. Basically going Super Saiyan for the first time and could really cut loose with the power given to him by All Might. Up next, we have Shoto Todoroki, a prodigy student and one of the most powerful students in Class 1A. Todoroki's quirk is inherited from his parents, half hot, half cold. Right down the middle, one half of his body is fire and the other half is ice. With such a powerful combination, it's no wonder Todoroki is one of the most powerful students. His quirk does have a downside though. If he uses too much ice, his body freezes, and if he uses too much fire, he could get burned. Of course, he can alternate between sides to mitigate the effects, but for the longest time, he only used his ice side. This is due to Todoroki's less than stellar relationship with his father, Endeavor, the number 2 hero right behind All Might. Due to this emotional baggage, Todoroki only ever used his ice powers until Deku convinced him otherwise. Still, even with just his ice half, Todoroki was a beast. His super move, Heaven-Piercing Ice Wall, can create a hunk of ice so big, it could sink the Titanic. Now that Todoroki has embraced his fire half, he is all but unstoppable when he really puts his mind to it. Uraraka is a bright and outgoing student from Class 1A. Her quirk Zero Gravity has a multitude of uses. While she doesn't have an overtly offensive quirk, she has always wanted to be part of the action. During her internship, she learned martial arts with Gunhead, and in the most recent arc was teamed up with the dragon hero Ryuko Tatsuma. Uraraka's first real combat came during the sports festival when she was put up against Bakugo. Now, Bakugo is, well, aggressive. His quirk, along with his personality, makes him downright deadly. During the sports festival, the crowd doubted Uraraka would stand a chance. They even chastised Bakugo for toying with her and merely blowing her away with explosions. However, Bakugo knew how dangerous Uraraka was. If she touched him just once, he would float out of the ring and lose. However, that wasn't her plan, not at first. With all of Bakugo's debris, she levitated it all above him. She used her super move, Meteor Shower, to send hundreds of rocks down towards him. It took Bakugo all of his strength to blow up all those rocks and push Uraraka out of the ring. If Bakugo hadn't gone all out, he would have lost. Meena is one of the most unique students design-wise. She leaves an impression on the audience with her standout design. No other character in the My Hero world looks like Meena. To go with her out-of-this-world design, her quirk Acid can be used in a variety of ways. Similar to Bakugo's quirk, Meena's skin secretes an acid-like viscous substance that she can use for both offense and defense. While Meena might not be the smartest student, her creativity with her quirk more than makes up for her lack of book smarts. Her main method of attack is her acid shot, where she sends out globs of acid to shoot her opponent down. Her acid can be used defensively as well, and that is where Acid Man comes in. As of making this video, the move has only been featured in the manga, but by increasing the viscosity of her acid, Meena creates a suit of armor around her, and it takes on a humanoid form. While using Acid Man, she can control the acid armor and not have it affect her. Any attack made against it is melted away by her powerful acid. It's a super move that is out of this world. Toru Hagurike, anime's version of the Invisible Woman. She is constantly invisible. Well, at least her skin and hair is, because anything she eats disappears too. Toru is an interesting figure to talk about because the more you think about her as a character and her quirk, the more questions come up. For example, her costume. Yeah, she's naked, wearing only a pair of gloves and boots. Nope, I don't want to think about what would happen if Eraser had deactivated her quirk. Many people have thought about it, and I'm sure we're gonna see a rousing conversation in the comments of this very video now that I've mentioned it. Being constantly invisible does have its advantages. There's no shortage of horror movies that explore the very premise of what can be done if you're invisible. My Hero Academia does ask some interesting, non-pervy questions about Toru, like if her invisibility can actually be harnessed into a super move. The answer is yes. Toru's super move, Light Reflection, has the light bend and reflect around her body in a giant blinding flash. A move like that has a ton of tactical uses in the battlefield, and the element of surprise wins many battles. Don't let the bright and flowery dresses fool you. The wild, wild pussycats all have amazing quirks. The one we're going to be talking about today, however, is Ryuko Tsuchikawa, or Pixie Bob. Her other teammates include Ragdoll, Tiger, and Mandalay. Pixie Bob's quirk is Earth Flow, which allows her to move the earth and manipulate it to her will. This makes Pixie Bob My Hero's version of an earthbender. Toph would be so proud. Pixie Bob can do much more than move boulders and split mountains with her quirk. Her super move is Earth Beast. This allows Pixie Bob to create large, fantastic beasts made of earth in order to attack and obey her will. These earth creatures can move and behave like wild animals and creatures. However, since they are made of earth, they are unaffected by other quirks like Koji Koda's Anavoice. What makes this quirk so dangerous is the fact that she can create large, colossus-sized beasts with little to no effort. In addition to their size, Pixie Bob doesn't have to be nearby to make her earth beasts. It is this mix of power and versatility that makes Pixie Bob such a powerful force to be reckoned with. Anyone who's played Breath of the Wild should understand the power behind stasis and the multitude of ways this force can be applied. The Lock hero, Ken Takagi, aka Rocklock, could surely educate us all in the power of stasis. His quirk, Lockdown, allows him to freeze non-living objects in place. Much like the stasis rune in Breath of the Wild, once Rocklock releases the object from his quirk, the object will continue on its intended path of travel. While this is an amazing power, it does have its limitations. As stated above, it can't be used on living objects, so he can't freeze people or animals. However, by that same logic, that also means he could lock in place their clothes or any weapons they could be carrying. It also does not create immovable objects when frozen. They can be moved if great force is put on them. But simply stopping enemies in their tracks is not why Rocklock is on this list. Now that goes to his super move. Deadbolt allows Rocklock to lock his immediate area in place. While this does have a variety of uses, it was used in his battle during the Shie Hasakai arc. For the final entry on this list, we have gentle criminal Danjiro Tobita. Tobita is the main antagonist during the school festival arc. As you could have guessed by his alias, Gentle is, well, a gentleman. He remains calm and poised, if not a bit eccentric during his battles, even when he's against multiple heroes. His quirk matches his eccentric demeanor and behavior. Elasticity allows Gentle to make anything elastic and bouncy. From rigid buildings to the air itself, he can make them all rubbery and buoyant, and he uses that buoyancy to great effect. We see Gentle using his quirk more for reflection and defense with moves like Gently Rebound, where he makes an elastic barrier out of air and repels enemies back. However, the super move we're going to be looking at is the one with the oddest name, Gently Sandwich. Gentle uses a series of elastic air discs to press the opponent into the ground or surface. The power and resourcefulness of using the air itself as a force to immobilize opponents is something to take seriously, which makes Gently Sandwich and Gentle Criminal's quirk elasticity so powerful. Alright, made it through the whole entry without making one smooth criminal joke. Oh, never mind. And those were some of the best super moves in My Hero Academia. Which one was your favorite? Mine is Acid Man. Let us know what your favorite super move is down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to CBR for more anime content. See you in the next video.